How's it going, everybody? My name is Mattshotcha. I'm your lead community developer here at Gun Media, and today we've got another episode of Beyond where we're talking about Layers of Fear 2 news. Yes. Now, real quick, before we launch into our show, for those of you who don't know, on Tuesdays we run a show called Beyond, which is this show. It happens to be the show that you are watching right now. It's the one where we talk about all the things Gun Media, all the news, all the things that we're working on, anything that's going on with Gun. Today we're talking about Layers of Fear 2, but we talk about anything that we work on. So that includes Friday the 13th, the game, and Layers of Fear 2 as of right now. On Thursdays, we run a show called Tales from the Stream, which is where we hang out with our friends being you, the community, and we play some of our favorite horror games, or just generally games from around the world of horror gaming, and hang out and chat with you guys. So, before we get into all the news for the day, let me get some shout outs out of the way. We got a Wolf Pack, we got a Screamer Chaotix, we got Evil Sea Monkeys, we got Rifty, we've got Sharkcraft, Conan the Boss, Babysitter Killer. How's it going over there on Twitch? We've got TFR84, Numenon Gaming, we've got Mixed Stream Live, and as always, we've got Gun Media support on Twitch / Gun Media help on Mixer. That's the one and only, the mighty Mel, and the one and only Raj, back there working behind the support channels. And on the other side of that there wall, I've got my buddy Rob, our producer at large. He produces everything, all the things, produces them well. He moves faders around and, I don't know, presses buttons, and shit happens in here. So thank you to Raj, he makes shit happen. And and thank you to Rob, who also makes shit happen, and Mel. How's it going, Evil Sea Monkeys? I'm good. Mel is the best, absolutely 100%. Now, so, first off, F-13, let's get this out of the way, guys. The team is working on it. We do not currently have a status update. We're kind of, you ever watch those creature movies where they have like a bug on their skin and they try to figure out what it is, but the tendrils of the bug go way up under the skin and into the arm, and they're attached to the brain and controlling them? That's kind of what we're dealing with on F-13 right now. But the team is working through it. I don't mean that to sound like doom and gloom, because the truth of the matter is the team is working through it. The team they've got situation under control. If you remember from a episode a week back on Beyond where we talked about this, they're figuring out the bear trap situation, but the other areas, the ripple effects in the other areas of the game that are kind of similar to what's going on with the bear trap, they're trying to make sure they take care of, because we know that you, our passionate fan base, are going to jump in the game and poke around in there and see what happens. So we want to make sure that this is as complete a patch as possible. So the team's working on it, and we will have more news on that as soon as we do. As soon as there's something concrete to let you guys know. We've heard your cries for another double event. There will be one in due time. I promise you guys that. Now, but to the news of the day. And I got a handy dandy card here. Look, ooh, quick flash. That's got patch notes on it. And you guys know the patch notes, though. Why am I pretending like that's a big secret? There's the patch notes. And there's the cool Beyond card. Oh, wait, we got something here. What's this? I so hope that F-13's legendary perks lose their bonus stats. Again, Sea Monkeys, the perk system is something that the team's considering, but right now we're focusing on taking care of this fix. So, but I am out. Have a great stream, Matt. Have fun. Bye, Mel. TFR84, thank you so much. Thanks for the host and cool little gifts and things. And thanks for tuning in. I'm sure you've got work to do, so get to it, bud. How's it going, Side B Tiger? Why can't you guys release a PTB for each patch? Like a test server? Is that what you're saying? PTB. The B is weirding me out. Private test beta? Is that what you guys are saying? It's something that we're looking at, and we've talked about a bit internally, but again, it requires a bit of doing in order to make that work. That's not just something that you can be like, I tell you what, guys, why don't we launch a test server and just have it branch? Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about. Player test build branch. Yeah, okay. It's not something that we can just be like, yeah, let's flip the switch and allow a branch. It's something that's going to take a little bit of work, and it's something that, while we've kicked around the idea, we're not going to divert attention away from what we've currently got in the works in order to make that happen just yet. But it's definitely something that we're considering, and if it makes the end result that much better, then we're all for it. It's just a matter of making sure that we do it right without diverting too much attention and resources away from the things that we're currently working on. And on top of that, there's a lot of logistical issues to it, but it is something we've talked about. Now, I don't want to get too far into the weeds here on Friday the 13th because we do have a whole patch. We got a patch. It's right here for Layers of Fear. There's Mad Moxie. Hey, Peanut. How's it going? Hey, JJC. What's up, buddy? UE4 is an interesting beast. Heard that. So, anyway, Layers of Fear 2 launched May 28th on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. You might have heard of it. We've been talking about it a bit. We had a few things that we wanted to get fixed up in the game. A few things that we wanted to change. Some community feedback that we heard we wanted to address. Now, obviously, this has already rolled out on PC, but in case you're a PC player and haven't caught the news, we'll be able to go through it here. It's just about identical. They're just about one-to-one, with the exception of the PC-specific things like some changes made to FOV sliders and things that that you can work with on PC a little bit more freely. So, first things first, on my phone at the moment, dedication. That is dedication. Thanks, JJC. We appreciate it, buddy. First things first, we've got a set of fixes, a set of tunings, and something new added to Layers of Fear 2. The first, we'll go through our fixes first. We fixed several issues with Formless Man behavior. Now, the Formless Man, he's the primary antagonist in Layers of Fear 2. Now, when he chases you and certain things that happen, certain ways that he acted, there were some issues with him, issues with detection, issues with speed, issues with kind of his aggressiveness, I guess you would say. And so the team wanted to make sure that they fixed those and got those sorted out. So you're going to see some changes in the way the Formless Man acts, in the way he's triggered, and the way he acts when he's chasing you, so on and so forth. In there, we have another line, fixed various lighting issues. Now, again, the reason you're hosting, hey, thank you very much for the host. Wolfpack, it looks like. Thank you very much for the host. We appreciate it. He had no issues catching my ass. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, Screamer. A lot of people are like, so is he easier or harder? And it's just, there's a couple areas in the way he acted that we wanted to fix. Mario Jr. also with the host. Thank you very much, Mario Jr. So yeah, next up is various lighting issues. That's listed very general. And again, that's what I was about to say. One of the reasons that we have this show Beyond is so that we can make sure that, we have a chance to share some of this longer form information with you guys. We don't always have the opportunity to do that on social. We have character limits, we have things like that. And also, to be fair, there's a lot of people who read that line, various lighting issues, and they're like, cool, man, cool story. And they don't want to hear anything more. Then there's other folks that want to tune into a show like this and hear all about it. So let's talk about the lighting issues. There were some areas where lighting was inconsistent, lighting didn't look as good as it could. The team basically did a pass on it after seeing the way you guys acted in the areas you guys, some of the things that you guys have, we had a pretty decent showing on Twitch as well. So there's a lot of creators jumping around and enjoying the space. It uncovered a couple of areas that we needed to tweak and tune some lighting issues. It's nothing major. It's not a huge change. And if you were photosensitive prior, you are still photosensitive. I wanted to make sure that I got that said. This wasn't anything changed there. So if you do have any kind of photosensitivity, please still heed that warning in the beginning of the game. Involuntary resolution changes after player death. This was a big one. On PC, definitely. The listing on Xbox, and PlayStation 4, it's listed here as a change to the console version, though I haven't seen it reported. It seemed to be more prominent on PC. I don't know that there was any kind of, issue there on console, but to mention it anyway. Involuntary resolution change on player death. What would happen is player would die, player would reload checkpoint. Game would be wrong resolution. That's been fixed. Minor bug fixes in multiple acts. Now that's a little vague. It's one of those ones where there was just a little thing here or there that had to be tweaked and tuned. The team basically, got to see you guys. There's no one-to-one environment that's like, however many thousands and thousands and thousands of players playing the game and experiencing these things. So based off player feedback, little tiny bug issues here and there, we kind of went through, and so I'm not crazy. You're definitely crazy, Screamer. Formless Man was annoying as hell. Babysitter Killer, he may be a little less annoying now. But yeah, so these minor bug fixes in multiple acts, they're kind of environmental things and situations like that. Letter spacing for certain translations. It looks like the Russian translation, and the letter spacing was a little bit off. We adjusted that to make the subtitles a little easier to read. We had some translation issues. Some things didn't quite translate as they should. Looking at you. So we've gone through and had those localization efforts kind of cleaned up a bit. Now, the big fix, the one that I know Babysitter Killer wants to hear about. Formless Man various instant death encounters. There were there were enough areas in the game where you would experience an instant death off the Formless Man. Basically, by the time you knew you were in a chase, he was already on you and you would die. And it led to some frustrations. Some people even being unable to clear certain areas of the game. We went through and fixed those in the respect that those encounters will not play out the same way that they did previously. I don't want to go too far into the weeds on what that means, but basically those instant death scenarios are all but removed. You would have to basically try now to have an instant death scenario. So yes, if you walk up to the Formless Man and just stand there, he will still kill you. That's the way that works. But through normal gameplay reasons, you should not have those moments where it's just, oh, is that the Formless Man? Oh, he's gonna chase me. Oh, I'm dead. So, I have already beat the game multiple times. Great game, shit my pants every time. Sorry about your pants, Babysitter Killer, but thanks for playing our game. So now we've got some tuning changes that we wanted to talk about. Oh, let's see here. Is you busy? Oh, okay, that's not a question for me. Cool. We've got hey, how's it going, Paul Smash? I didn't see you in the chat. We've got a couple tuning changes we wanted to go through. We've got Formless Man difficulty decreased and behavior tuning. What that means is we did drop his difficulty a little bit, particularly with his speed during chases and things like that. It's kind of, the bug item listed in the patch notes is kind of an amalgamation of some of the other things we've discussed. Issues with his behavior, issues with those instant death areas, all of that kind of plays into the greater holistic view of how the Formless Man is and how he kills you in game. And so we felt we had to note that it's a bit of a difficulty decrease. His behavior's been tuned pretty significantly. We've also, max value for FOV has been increased by 5. That should help people with some of their sensitivities to the game as well as the overall look and view of the game. We've turned up our default controller sensitivity 10%. What that means is some people were complaining about some sluggish feelings in game, so particularly with controller. The controller sensitivity is now upped by 10%, so you should be able to move, particularly again through those chase segments, when rapid responsive controls are really important. You should be able to see a little bit of a change there. We've got a few performance and quality adjustments. They're minor things. They're just basically helping how the game runs. We've also got some pacing adjustments. Now this one's somewhat important. Some of the unnecessary encounters that, if there's an area with a multitude of locked doors, we've kind of made sure that we clean that up a little bit just to drop the frustration levels a bit there as far as pacing in several acts. So you should see less of that, less hallways of a, and I don't want to say unnecessary, but a more than understood kind of amount of locked doors and things to interact with, so to aid in the pacing of the map. Black and white post-processing, adjusted in Chapter 2. This is a pretty significant one. Formless Man is like a tunneling Jason that will chase you until you die. Yeah, I mean, he, to an extent, should be, but he was a little effective, we'll say. The black and white post-processing, Chapter 2. We had a decent amount of feedback about people saying that the entirety of Chapter 2 was black and white, and it didn't, the vision of the game was more to have those moments where you were in danger, or moments that, kind of you want to ramp up the tension and you want to make the player believe that they're in some kind of danger and be afraid, basically. It should be shifting back and forth from the color to the black and white a little more. So the team went back through and took another pass at it and fixed up some of those areas. You're going to see a little bit less black and white effective is a good way to put it. You're going to see a bit less black and white in Chapter 2, and that's by design. This way, around those Formless Man encounters, when it shifts to black and white, you get that dread, that feeling that's intentional. Tuned Perfect Storm achievement. Now this one, Act 2 made me the most tense. Yeah, Act 2 is a lot. It's a lot. A lot of these changes they are mostly reflected in Act 2, so it is going to be a little bit different of an experience, but I think this is a good thing. And, we'd love to hear you guys' feedback more. Continue to reach out to us on social, and, a lot of this is through Steam and through our Discord, so continue to hit us up there. It's !Discord in the chat, in case you aren't already on it. But Perfect Storm achievement is another tuning item. Now, this one's tough because in order to explain what was done, there's a spoiler. But what I can say, I don't want to give away how to get the achievement. I feel like, it's a timing thing. So in other words, people were completing the parameters for the achievement accurately, but not getting the achievement. There was a little bit of a timing thing there, a little bit of an activity. Muting, Paul Smash said. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to give it away. A little bit of an activity that you had to do in order to unlock this achievement, and players were completing it, and it would seem completed, but not pop. So there was an impression that the achievement may have been bugged. It was just a timing thing. We adjusted that timing, so you should be able to go and complete that. No spoilers here. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to you guys. I don't want to just speak how to complete an achievement. I like grabbing achievements myself. I like gathering them up, especially in a game that I enjoy. So I don't want somebody to tell me how to do it. That's like that last ditch effort. You don't want to do it anymore. And I feel, yeah, that's cheap. One new item. We've only got one new item in this patch, but the new item is the New Game Plus unlocked pop-up with info added to the game ending. Now, what that basically means is when you get your New Game Plus, once you kind of, you've beaten the game once the game completes, a lot of people were unclear on what New Game Plus meant, what they could do in New Game Plus. And to be completely 100% honest, it felt a little bit like a blocker. It felt a little bit like something that was keeping folks from trying a New Game Plus. They didn't realize that they could go to the film room and load up, specific acts and things like that. So we added a pop-up in there that more accurately describes what you can do in New Game Plus. And that's the patch notes. Get rid of that. So, yeah. Squeaky Snake, PogChamp, yeah. So basically what we've done here is we've taken some of the feedback that we've seen. It's some of the things that we've tuned already on PC. So if you're playing on PC, you've kind of had these changes happen over the course of 2 recent patches. On console, the patch process is just a little bit different. So we ended up having to, oh, that was probably my mic. Sorry about that, headphone users. So basically, the patch process is a little bit different on console. So we had to go about this a little staggered. PC has their patch out. Xbox One and PlayStation 4 confirmed today. The patch is live. If you jump in, it should boot up the download and you should be good to go. Spoiled it. Doesn't anyone remember that from SpongeBob? Yeah, I do, actually. My nephews watched a lot of SpongeBob. So if you're on console, jump in, give it a shot, check it out. Let us know what you think. There are avenues for you to reach out to us through Discord, !Discord in the chat. Twitter, we're at Layers of Fear 2. And also, of course, you can continue to use the Steam forums if you're a Steam PC user. I have an achievement for you, Matt, an 11-year achievement unlocking Thursday. That's right, it's my 11-year anniversary on Thursday. Oh, Mad Moxie, good heads up. Yeah, oh, and there you go. Gun Media Help is dropping our console patch 1 notes into the chat. Did that cross to, there it is, crossed over to Twitch as well. Matt, I know Gun Media for F13 is focused on the slingshot exploit, but thoughts on adding match completed 500 XP and no survivors 250 for offline bots in F13? Again, that's kind of, it's one of those things where you want to see, basically, you want to see extra XP buff, or XP grants, basically, to a win condition in offline bots. It's something we can look into. It's something that we can mark down as feedback. But again, like you said yourself, it's not currently the #1 item, so we'll be keeping an eye out. Yeah, Paul Smash says, oh, yeah, 11 years on Thursday? Yeah. So, basically, that's our patch notes for Layers of Fear 2. Thank you again for hanging out with us. Don't forget, Thursday, we have another stream called Tales from the Stream. This has been an episode of Beyond, where we talk about all the news coming out of Gun. Thursday on Tales from the Stream, we hang out and play horror games from around the world of horror game development. So it may be ours, maybe others. Jason Teamers Must Die. I get that you mean in game and we're talking horror games, man, but that's, ooh. Yeah, but I agree. We are working on it. We are looking into it. It's exciting, going to update and see the changes. Thank you, Mr. Shotcha. No problem, Screamer. Yeah, so we'll be back Thursday with an episode of Tales from the Stream. Hang out with you guys, play some more horror games. I think actually this Thursday we're doing another episode of Bad Dreams Coma. I'm not 100% sure. I'll get back to you guys on that, and you'll obviously hear about it on social. We are at Fear the Gun on Twitter. And again, for the last time, one more plug. You could always join us on Discord and talk about it there. For everybody that's currently hanging out, checking out Layers of Fear 2, thank you so much for playing our game. I'm going to get back to work. I've got a ton of stuff to do. I hope that you guys all have an awesome week, and I'll see you Thursday. Don't go anywhere, though, because we're going to host somebody. And we'll be back. Tell Wes to smile, damn it. I will. Thanks for watching, guys. Stick around for the host, and we'll see you guys next time.